We are a few weeks into the season now, and the question is on everybody's mind. Is the Serrated Glaive build actually the best single target build for Havoc Demon Hunters? For those of you who've been out of the loop for a bit, this is currently the quote-unquote best simming Havoc single target build. The whole idea here is that you throw out your throw glaive before you hit I-beams, and also you just throw out a ton of Relentless Onslaught, Empowered Cow Strikes, stuff like that, get more cycles. Everything yada yada yada. And this build is the best simming. I will show you some sims and stuff after. However, when you go and take a look at Warcraft logs, top parses and stuff like that, you see lots of people aren't playing this build. And you're probably wondering why. And there are a few reasons why. Now, you're probably wondering what build they're playing instead. Well, the build they're playing instead is one that people will be familiar with if you've played back in previous tiers, namely Vault, the only tier so far of Dragonflight. And this is that build. The Restless Hunter double blind theory build is actually seeing more parse success, I should say. So the top parses are mostly using this build. Now, it doesn't paint a complete picture. There is more to this story. There's actually also another build. So today I figured we'd do a bit of a deep dive and analysis and talk about why maybe the Serrated Glaive build isn't performing as well in Mythic as people would have thought originally, and why this build might actually be better in a lot of scenarios. So if you're watching the video and you enjoy it, hit a like, drop a comment down below as well, and make sure to hit that sub button on your way down. Really helps me out. I'll have tons of WoW content for you in your feed. 3 videos a week, plus streams and all that jazz. So with that out of the way, let's go over and look at some logs and then talk about sims and maybe why this build is not doing as good as it could be. Alright, so we're going to take a look at a few different fights on Warcraft logs. And now the first one I'm going to look at is Magmarax. Now Magmarax is a fight where you think that you have high uptime and the other build will end up doing really good. But in reality, if we look at all these parses here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 of the top 18 parses are using the Restless Hunter build, and the other few are using some combination of the other one. This one has Chaos Theory in it. An interesting build, of course. But most of these top builds on this Magmarax boss, which is, very patchworky, very single target, very high uptime, are using this Restless Hunter build. And that story actually echoes through a bunch of other fights as well. So this is Khazara the Hellforge, the first boss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the top 18 are all using it. If we go look here at Amalgamation Chamber, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the top 18 are all using it, which, that's about half. And then we go over here and look at Rashok, another pure single target boss. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of the top 18 builds are all using it, and then some other ones are using like a Chaos Theory based build. I don't know what this build is. Chaos Theory, Restless Hunter, Relentless Onslaught, that sounds crazy, but for the most part, we see this picture of all these builds that aren't the one that's simming the best. And just to double check here, just to show you guys that this build is still simming the best, even for me. I'm like 137, 138, almost 140. This ring's holding me back, of course. And it's, still the top build. We look at these simulation sheet, Serrated Glaive Momentum, still the top build here, but no one's playing it. You can see here, most of the people on Magmarax are not playing it. Most of the people on Khazara, not playing it. Half the people on Amalgamation Chamber aren't playing it. Most of the people on Rashok aren't playing it. So the question is why? Now, the thing with sims and the thing with Serrated Glaive is that it assumes you're having full uptime and you're also playing it perfectly. Now, I'm not going to say the Serrated Glaive build is hard. I don't think it is, personally. You just throw a glaive out before you use your I-beam and stuff like that. But it is more difficult to do as in a real raid fight compared to the Restless Hunter build. The benefit of the Restless Hunter build is you get a ton of burst damage immediately. And that burst damage is very important on things like Mythic fights, where you might have mechanics forcing you away from the boss. You might have these phases where you need that burst damage initially. Like Forgotten Experiments, for example, is a fight where you want to play Restless Hunter because you have that big burst damage on those two the two bosses whenever you lust, right? So the fact that all these players are playing this Restless Hunter build goes to show you that sims aren't always the end-all be-all. So when we started this tier, we thought that the other build would be much better. But in actuality, because of how the fights are designed with their uptime, it's often better in a lot of scenarios to play this Restless Hunter to get a ton of your damage off initially, do like your 250-something K burst if you crit with both your death sweeps, which, good luck critting. That's how you do a ton of your damage. Now, the other build is better on a fight where you have full uptime, and I like to point to, where is it? Amalgamation Chamber is a fight where you have basically full uptime. You lose a little bit during like the intermission phase, and then whenever you go clear stacks, if you do so, I don't even know. You might be able to get away with it, just not clearing now. I'm not 100% sure. But we can see on this fight that we are having the Relentless Onslaught Glaive build actually perform well here. We're seeing roughly 50% representation in the top 18 here, and I could go further down, and like the numbers are going to carry on and stuff like that. There's actually no mover parse. Look at that guy go. The numbers will carry on as we go down, of course. But for the most part here, we are seeing that Restless Hunter is actually performing better. Now, if you want to play the other build, you can play it on Amalgamation Chamber and stuff. But in any boss fight where you have to be pushed away from your boss target, from stuff like that, then this Restless Hunter build is going to do better. And if you look here, it's actually not that far behind the actual Serrated Glaive build. Now, these sims are a bit out of date. Atreyan, the guy who updates this stuff, he is out of town. He's on vacation. So these aren't fully updated yet. They still have Slime Explosion boots. They still have a few things. Last updated May 13th. That was about 12 days ago. You can see here that Restless Hunter momentum is roughly 1.5% behind Serrated Glaive. And this is Serrated Glaive with full uptime. So in those situations where that you don't have that full uptime, Restless Hunter is probably going to be better for you. So once you hit that Mythic mark, once you start going into Mythic, consider using Restless Hunter in a lot of these fights. A lot of fights too have some form of a little bit of cleave to them. Forgotten Experience have some cleave to them. Ziskarn has cleave to it. Echo of Notharian has cleave to it. Now we can look at those fights. Ziskarn, I think, is most people will be cheesing it. If we look at there should be really long boss skills, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, most people, I'm pretty sure, are cheesing these fights, but, you know, is what it is. But again, you know, similar picture, Restless Hunter almost all the way down. I don't know how many Echo kills there have been, but I expect, yeah. So there's only been like a few. There's been like 10 of them. Not a ton. But still, even looking here, Restless Hunter, very common. The other ones are Chaos Theory, and we have like 1 or 2 of the other builds. So you're seeing a lot of Restless Hunter parses, and it makes sense. You know, Restless Hunter is going to be better in a scenario where you don't have that full uptime. So, you know, again, just looking here, Restless Hunter is Old Raid's ST is my build name for it, and it's roughly 800 DPS behind the new current Raid ST tier, which is this build. So, you know, definitely an interesting scenario here. If you have full uptime, then this build up here is going to be better for you, just of course. But a lot of these fights push you away, and they're random times, right? It's stuff you can't really account for. And in those scenarios, the older build is going to do better. So that's kind of going to be it for today's video. I just kind of want to do a little bit of a talk about why maybe we're seeing Restless Hunter perform better in Warcraft logs than originally thought, and why maybe the Serrated Glaive build isn't actually the better way to go for a lot of fights. Also, play Spread Eagle on Mythic Zakali Assault. You'll thank me later. Hold your burst for the first ad set. You do crazy damage. It's, you know, a lot of damage there. That's a side thing though. But yeah, so Restless Hunter is a really strong build for Mythic specifically on all those fights where you don't have that perfect uptime. So I want people out there who are doing Mythic, you're doing the first few bosses, you're just starting Prog, consider using this build. See if it's better for you, if you're getting better results for it than the Serrated Glaive build, but consider using both in your arsenal, right? If you're on a fight where you feel like you have really good uptime, then play the Serrated Glaive build. If you're in a fight where you feel like you don't have good uptime, you feel like you're going to be forced away from the boss pretty often, then play the Restless Hunter build. This isn't going to be a really clear-cut case of one or the other. This is going to be one of those scenarios where we have both these builds in our back pocket, and we use it as kind of a toolbox to take out and use which one in different scenarios. That's going to be it for the video today. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, enjoyed my little discussion about Restless Hunter, and why maybe it's pulling ahead of Serrated Glaive. Let me know what you think down in the comments. While you're on your way down there, hit the like button as well, and make sure to hit the sub button. If you really appreciate my content, you want exclusive perks, like log review, VOD review, emotes to use in my chat, and comments, and a ton of other special stuff, then consider becoming a channel member. There's a link in the description. Helps me out. And yeah, so that's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a good weekend. I will see you guys on Monday with another video. Catch you guys later. Peace. A big shout out to my channel members. Payne, big shout out to you. Metarol, WXZ, Alexandra Goncalves, Damian Polichkin, Osgook, Aiden, DHFG, Jack Gerard, It's Bulk, and Flapjack67. Big shout out to all of them for supporting the channel, allowing me to keep doing this. If you want to help me get a shout out at the end of videos and get other ton of cool perks, there's a link in the description of every video to become a channel member, so click that if you want to learn more. Anyways, thank you to all these people. Big shout out to them. Could not be possible without them, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.